The law of demand. The basic definition of law of demand states that there is an inverse relationship between prices and the quantity demanded. To illustrate that, we will draw the demand curve. If we plot the quantity in the horizontal axis and the price in vertical axis, we can draw a curved line as shown in the graph. To illustrate that with an example, let's assume we have X product, let's say it's mobile. If the price is set as 3,000 riyal, then the sales is 1 million pieces. If the price is set as 2,000 riyal, then the sales is 2 million pieces. And if the price is set as 1,000 riyal, then the sales is 4 million pieces. Please note that these numbers are only hypothetical numbers. There are two types of changes that could happen to the demand curve. First is the movement along the demand curve, and the second, the movement or shift of the demand curve. Moving along demand curve happen as a result of change in price, which lead to a change in quantity demanded. If this is the equilibrium stage for a specific product, let's say the pen and it's sold for 2 riyal and the quantity demanded is 1,000. If the price is increased to 3 riyal, then the demanded quantity will decrease to 700 pieces. And if the price is decreased to 1 riyal, the quantity demanded would increase to 1,500. The movement or shift of demand curve happen if any other factor other than the price affects the quantity demanded. For example, if there is an increase in income of consumers, we would expect the curve to move outward. And if there is a decrease in the income of consumers, we would expect the curve to move inward. Factors shifting the demand might include consumer income, prices of other goods, consumer tastes and preferences, expectation of future price changes, and number of customers. Another important concept in the law of demand is the elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand measures the response of change in quantity demanded upon the change in prices. It's also called price elasticity of demand. The demand of a specific product is elastic if the quantity demanded changes by a larger percentage than the associated change in the product price. To illustrate that in a graph, let's assume we have demand curve as shown in the figure. Look at the change between price 1 and price 2 in terms of percentage, and look at the change between quantity 1 and the quantity 2 in terms of percentage also. The percentage of change in price is lower than the percentage of change in quantity, so this product is elastic, or the percentage of change in quantity is higher than the percentage of change in price, and this will give also the same result, so this product is elastic. On the other hand, the inelastic goods are those with a percentage of change in quantity less than the percentage of change in the price. To illustrate that in the graph, let's assume we have the demand curve as shown in the figure. Look at the change between price 1 and price 2 in terms of percentage. And let's look at the change between quantity 1 and quantity 2 in terms of percentage also. The percentage of change in price is higher than the percentage of change in quantity. So this product is inelastic. Or the percentage of change in quantity is lower than the percentage of change in the price. And this also will give the same result. So this product is inelastic. Calculation of elasticity of demand. There are two methods to calculate price elasticity. The first is the percentage method, and the second is the midpoint or arc method. In calculating price elasticity using the percentage method, we divide the percentage of change in quantity divided by the percentage of change in price. The midpoint or arc method utilizes the following equation: quantity 2 minus quantity 1 divided by quantity 2 plus quantity 1 divided by 2. All of that is divided by price 2 minus price 1, and that divided by price 2 plus price 1 divided by 2. To illustrate the methods of elasticity demand calculation with an example, let's say we have a product, and let's say it's a toothpaste, and the original price was 5 Saudi Riyal, and they were selling at that point of time 3,000 pieces. And when the price went down to 3 Saudi Riyal, the quantity sold was 4,000 pieces. So what's the price elasticity? To identify the price elasticity using percentage method, we need to identify the percentage of change in quantity and the percentage of change in price. And then we apply into our formula where the price elasticity equal to the percentage of change in quantity divided by percentage of change in price. So 4,000 minus 3,000, the change in the quantity demanded, divided by 3,000 to get the percentage. That's divided by 5 minus 3 divided by 5. And all of that will equal to 1,000 over 3,000, and that's divided by 2 over 5. So 0.33 divided by 0.4, and that equal to 0.83. To calculate the elasticity of demand using the midpoint or arc method, we need just to apply our formula where quantity 2 minus quantity 1 divided by quantity 2 plus quantity 1 divided by 2, and all of that is divided by price 2 minus price 1 divided by price 2 plus price 1 divided by 2. So applying the numbers into our equation will result in 4,000 minus 3,000 divided by 4,000 plus 3,000 divided by 2, and all of that divided by 3 minus 5 divided by 5 plus 3 divided by 2. So 1,000 divided by 7,000 over 2, and that over minus 2 divided by 8 divided by 2. So 1,000 divided by 3,500 and minus 2 divided by 4, and that equal to 0.28 divided by 0.5, and that equal to 0.57. Classifications of levels of elasticity. In general, we have 4 major categories or levels of elasticity. First, perfectly inelastic. Second, inelastic. Third, unitary elasticity. Fourth, elastic. The elasticity of demand in perfectly inelastic situation equal to 0, which means that what happens to the price, either going up or down, the quantity that is demanded will remain the same. The price elasticity of inelastic situation will be less than 1, which means that the percentage of change in a quantity will be lower than the percentage of change in a price. The price elasticity in unitary elasticity situation will equal to 1, which means that any percentage change in a price will be associated with the same percentage change in a quantity. The price elasticity in elastic situation will be more than 1, which means that the percentage of change in a quantity will be higher than the percentage of change in a price.